Once upon a time, in Hoa Vinh village, now in Ha Tinh province, there was a guy named Hai. When he was young, his father passed away early. He was free to play and his mother could not stop him. Every day when he goes to the fields, he goes up to a high mound of land with his friends to practice jumping and wrestling. In the house, there is a ferocious male buffalo, often fighting, or in a cage. That and number 39, why the plowman often breaks his plow. One day Hai came back from somewhere. The mother scolded her son, "You are often mischievous and naughty. You go away all day and can and number 39 do anything." He replied, "Okay, tomorrow, I will go plowing for you." Tomorrow, Hai will carry the plow and beat the buffalo to the field. As soon as he plowed a patch of land, the buffalo was used to plowing and running. The guy was so angry that he threw away the plow, ran ahead of the buffalo, and grabbed the horn. The buffalo became angry and rammed into people. The guy swung his hand a few times, and the buffalo fell to the ground. Seeing the buffalo dead, he did not panic. Having a knife at his back, he slaughtered the buffalo in 4 batches. Then, he called the village people and asked them to carry 2 baskets back to his mother, and tied 2 more rods to the pole. When the mother saw the results of her son and number 39's plowing work, she was very angry and quickly hired someone to chase her to beat her son. As he was walking, he suddenly saw a person chasing behind him, looking aggressive and wanting to cause trouble. He put down his burden in the bush, broke a large tree, rolled up his sleeves and said, "And quat. If you want to taste one of these trees, just come here." And quat. Seeing that, the other person was so scared that he ran away. The 2 kept walking towards the north. "Whenever I and number 39 am hungry, I cut up grilled meat and eat it." As soon as the last piece of meat was gone, he was traveling in Nha An province. He wandered everywhere. Finally, when he entered the Mandarin palace, his father boldly asked for a job. Seeing that he was healthy, his father and number 39's wife accepted him to work. He patted his stomach and asked for food. The Mandarin and number 39's wife gave him a basket of cold rice. He sat for a while consuming all the rice. Seeing that he was eating too much, the Mandarin and number 39's wife complained, "Eating so much, I don and number 39 know if there and number 39's any point in working." Hai didn't and #39 say anything, just ax, "What do you say to do now?" "Go and carry some for me." "Carry water? Is there anything in the house to carry water?" The Mandarin and number 39's wife pointed to a row of jars and said, "There, pick a pair to go." Hai pouted, "Too small. It takes a lot of effort to carry." "Then there are a pair of curved jars. I and number 39 am afraid you one and number 39 be able to carry them." "They and number 39 still small," he replied. The Mandarin and number 39's wife was a bit surprised, pointing to a pair of jars. "Can you carry this?" Also, when he was young, he saw his father and number 39's wife bewildered and said, "Go to the wharf to buy a pair of large bars, an old meter tree, and choose a pair of palanquin jars from the house for me. Only then can one carry a heavy burden." That day there was a big festival in the province. The guy carried 2 water palanquins back, saw a bunch of things, so he put down the load and stopped to watch. At that time, there was a champion wrestler who, from morning to afternoon, defeated more than a dozen people at once. He was waving his arms to challenge all the other wrestlers with an arrogant look. Seeing that the guy could carry a pair of palanquin jars full of water and had a strong figure, everyone urged him to fight. At first, Hai refused, but after many people kept talking, he had to accept, but he forced the other person to make a commitment. Live or die. After just circling a few times, Hai jumped in and knocked the other down. Ground then grabbed his legs and threw him out of the ring. Then the guy clapped his thighs and jumped onto the roof. When people looked back at the other person, he choked on blood and died. At Lam River near Latch Wharf, at that time there was a very large boat. Every time a boat passes by, it often rolls around, creating violent waves and causing the boat to sink. No matter how many human lives sink into the water, they cannot escape its mouth. Therefore, that part of the river is empty of boats passing by. The court also gave up. Finally, the king sent an announcement to all regions, saying that whoever had a way to kill the sea monster would be given the title of Mandarin. Upon hearing the news, Hai immediately went before his superiors and asked to personally go and exterminate the animal. He only asked the Mandarin to forge 3 iron buttons and 9 daggers for him. Once he had the necessary items, he ordered 3 good ropes to be connected, each rope tied to a button. Those buttons are tied to the body, 2 in each armpit, 1 on the back. Then he tied his belt around his body and placed 9 blades around his belly. Before entering the water, he handed the end of the rope to the people on the boat, telling them to pull it up immediately if they saw the end of the rope jerking. He again told them to cook a pot of water ready for bathing. They went into the water and walked all the way to the bottom of the river without finding any flow. He searched all over the abyss. Finally came across the sea monster lying in a heap in a cave. Seeing the movement, he rushed out and opened his mouth very wide, trying to pounce on him. He quickly dodged and jumped on his back, raising his knife to stab him in the side. The animal was so hurt and angry that it curled up and down, but he still clung closely and did not let go. The people on the shore only saw water bubbling up, waves rolling from one side to the other, pounding like a storm. By noon, Hai had stabbed 6 or 7 knives into the body of the boat. He pulled the rope for them to pull up. His body and loincloth were full of monster slime. There was a faint fishy smell. He told them, "I have to take another knife and stab it until I die completely." This time, Thuong Luong was injured, so his strength was weak. The 2 stabbed him several times in the stomach. The monster struggled to death, blood flowing red all over the river surface. The 2 happily chopped off the monster and number 39's head and brought it out of the water. He remembers his friends scrubbing very carefully to remove all the blood and slime from the snake head that had stuck to his body. Unexpectedly, the poisonous slime of the Luong Luong had entered his nostrils. There was no way to clean it out. The toxic slime from there gradually darkens into the brain. In the end, Hai suffered from brain rot and died. Everyone loved him very much. People built a temple called Dai Vong Hai Temple. The piece of land he practiced on as a child still exists today. People call it Hun Mo Dai Vong, or also called Hun Mo Khao Han, too. Archaeology Phu Tho people also have a story. About Mr. Ho killing Thuong Luong, which is almost strange. Version of the above story. On Thao River, where Do Duong Abyss is located, in Khe Nung area, Phu Tho, in the past, there was a boat that specialized in making huge waves to sink boats to eat people. The Mandarin also announced a reward for anyone who could kill a monster. If they were unlucky enough to die, the people would set up a shrine, with 5 incense sticks and smoke. It and number 39. Been a long time since anyone dared to accept it. Much later, a strong man named Ho came to ask the Khe Nung people to give him 2 big, sharp gourd knives. After the knife was forged, he held the knife in both hands and waded naked into the river. The stream rushes forward and swallows it into the stomach. In the monster and number 39's stomach, Mr. Ho used a knife to tear the stomach out and cut it into 3 pieces. The dead bodies floated to the beach, but after they cut open the monster and number 39's stomach, Mr. Ho was no longer alive. To show gratitude, people set up temples to worship him in many places. 3. In the legend of Hung Vong, 4, it is added that, every year, people in the Do Duong region are forced to pray for one person and number 39's life for him, and he will let them die. Let people and boats travel peacefully. Seeing that, Mr. Ho decided to risk his life to destroy the monster. He then told the people that year to surrender him to the dragon so that he could kill it. Then he bought a knife and jumped into the water to swallow it freely, then slit its stomach, as just mentioned above. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.